Cynthia Bailey, you definitely dodged a bullet at this point because Peter Thomas, formerly of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, is back in the news. As you know, the last time we reported on him, his landlord for his Bar One, or Bar None, as you guys like to call it, Miami location, apparently owes almost $500,000 in rent. However, Peter and his team are telling a judge, we paid that.
You got a receipt?
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. We are back in the studio, y'all. Back in the studio. It was a long journey. I'll talk more about it on our podcast, Kempire Radio, so be sure to subscribe and give us a 5-star rating on your favorite podcast platform. More details will be available in the description of this video. But we did a video not too long ago while I was on vacation about Peter Thomas being sued for almost $500,000 in back rent, according to this lawsuit. Well, our friends over at Radar Online got the court documents because Peter is responding and saying that they got their money. He doesn't know what they're talking about. So Radar writes this: Real Housewives of Atlanta star Cynthia. Damn, Cynthia, I'm sorry. I have to read it as it is written, but your name is in this. If any sidebar, Cynthia, it's all your fault. It's all your fault that we even know who Peter Thomas is. It's all your fault that you married that man. Your mama tried to hide that marriage license so that you didn't get married to this man. But regardless, you brought him on this national platform, so he's forever in our spectrum of news. Anything that goes wrong with him. Damn you, Cynthia. No, Cynthia's a lovely woman. I met her at BravoCon. Sidebar, BravoCon. Tickets go on sale July 21st. You're welcome, Bravo. You're welcome, Andy. Anyways, so they said Real Housewives of Atlanta star Cynthia Bailey's ex-husband, Peter Thomas' business, has asked the court to throw out a lawsuit seeking to evict his Miami restaurant. According to court documents obtained by Radar, Bar One, Bar None, the spot Thomas has run since 2000. Is he not a co-owner? I just find that wording interesting, that he's run since 2019, has responded to the lawsuit brought by its landlord, Bentley Bay Retail. As Radar first reported, Bentley Bay Retail said Bar One, Bar None, had entered into a commercial lease agreement in 2018 for the waterfront location. Over the years, Bentley Bay said that it's had issues with Bar None paying rent and other charges on time. In 2020, a deal was reached where Bar None avoided eviction but agreed to pay outstanding debts of totaling $270,000. Here's the thing, Bentley. If someone's struggling to pay, they're showing you who they are. But I get it. This is business. They settled it out, and maybe they're hoping this lawsuit will have them settle this whole situation out again. Maybe. The landlord added a provision in the deal, their original deal, that said if any checks provided by Bar None were returned for insufficient funds, the entire deal would be void and Bar None would have to vacate. Here's the thing. Sorry for the sidebars, but here's the thing. If there's any bills that you miss, look, because of human error, I can see missing a credit card bill. I can see you even missing maybe a light bill. But to your landlord, you always want to make sure that check always clears. Shouldn't that be in a separate account? Because God forbid you be in this situation where your landlord isn't paid, then the location where you're trying to make money will not be there. I mean, that's for sensible people, right? Okay. So Bentley Bay said that Bar None submitted various payments that were returned for... Let me read that again. Various payments that were returned for insufficient funds and demanded that Peter Thomas's company pay $422,000 in back rent, outstanding costs, utility charges, and sales taxes. That's a lot of money. The landlord said that Peter Thomas's company was notified of the default in October of 2022. In the new filing, Bar None denied all allegations of wrongdoing. It said that the landlord cannot prevail on the suit because, quote, any disputes as to rents owed have been paid and an accord have been reached to resolve the issue, default, or dispute. So according to Radar says, a judge has yet to rule. Radar says that they previously reported on top of the bar none drama. Thomas was sued personally in a separate lawsuit over another restaurant he planned to open in Florida. We talked about that. That was the Upper Scale Supper Club, where he was then told to hand over the keys. Said he lost that dispute. For this restaurant he was trying to launch, One Society, in 2022. He announced that he had planned to spend $3 million on the project. How are you spending money that you don't have? And look, we get it as restaurateurs, you're investing in all these different projects. But my thing is, if you have a problem paying for one particular property, and look, we talked about this in the last video, there's a lot of smoke around Peter Thomas. We did a report, I think it was back in March, where he was facing criminal charges for allegedly attacking a woman at his restaurant. Those charges were dismissed. He was found not guilty, I think. I can't remember. You guys will go back to that video and remind me. But he got off. And then on social media, some of his former workers have been blasting him for not paying people, having allegedly issues with the government. So there's a lot of smoke around Peter Thomas. And look, we understand business is hard, especially in the restaurant business. Restaurants open and close every single day. And Peter Thomas has been running clubs and restaurants for years. But it seems like it's going bad for Peter Thomas right now, especially when it comes to his different locations. So he's telling a judge that they've already made these payments. So at the end of the day, if maybe they've reached an agreement and maybe this will be withdrew, I don't know. I don't understand what they mean by, oh, this has been resolved, because at the end of the day, you're going to have to provide receipts that you have paid this $422,000, or at least that you've made payments that were sufficient funds to your landlord. Guys, we're going to continue to follow up on this just because now we're in it. We reported on the first lawsuit, so I felt an obligation to give you an update in regards to Peter Thomas's response. He's not saying I ain't got it. He's saying I paid it. All right, Peter, we shall see what a judge says. Guys, I want to know your reaction to this story. Some of you did react in the previous video that we did, and you talked about the different locations. Some of you have been to the different locations, and some of you said the Miami location is really, really nice. But here's the thing. You can have a beautiful location. Maybe the food is good, but if the business is bad, that will cancel out everything. Because if the rent is not paid and you don't have a location and your lights aren't on, then you have a bigger problem. The food, the ambiance can be fantastic. Look at Pump Restaurant. They lost their lease and now they're gone. The food, the fabulosity, the major stage, especially right now with Vanderpump Rules, of having that restaurant on the show, even with all of that, and I know she didn't want to pay the increase in rent, but even with all of that, that restaurant is gone. So, Peter, tread lightly. Guys, let's continue this conversation in the comment section. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll ask you, follow my lead.